Hello, my friends. It's Andy Falco Jimenez coming to you live from Yorba Linda, California. Number one, I want to make sure and let people know that it's my fault that I got the time switched around. So the good news is we're early on some people's schedule, and so you'll be able to watch the replay. But many of you should be getting notifications that we're live, and you're going, "How come we're going live when I thought it was at a different time?" That is all my fault. These different time zones often mess me up. I went to public school, so that's my excuse. I have a great show today because we have the Formulator, Dr. Tracy Gibbs, on today that we'll be talking about Life Wise. And before I brought him on, I just wanted to tell you that, and I've shared this in a couple other shows that I've done, that I know Tracy from another company that I was a part of, and the products that he has been responsible for creating and putting the formulations together have always impacted my life in one way or another. And it was because of him being involved in Life Wise. Rob was a good enough pull, and Dr. Clem is another, great reason to be a part of this company. But Tracy Gibbs for me was the end all be all, that there's no way I was not going to be involved without having Dr. Gibbs involved, because so much comes out of just feeling better. And like I shared before, it's having good sleep and then being able to wake up clear-headed using something like the product called Clarity, and then restore. And that combination just makes you better, a better person. Because when you feel better, you do a lot of things better. And then you want to continue that feeling of being well. And like I told you before, just in the last 4 weeks, I've lost 17 pounds. And that is because it just causes you to want to do more to increase your wellness. And again, the products so far, and then Tracy may correct me if I'm wrong, aren't necessarily weight loss. They're not weight loss, but it's because of my added energy, the sleep, and everything else that I've been getting, and the less pain that I seemingly have in the joints that are causing me some grief are not there. That I made the right choice. And so with that, I want to bring on Tracy Gibbs, who's in the green room here. Hey, Tracy, nice to see you.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you, Andy, for having me on.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks. Thank you very much.
I didn't know you lived in Yorba Linda. I love Yorba Linda area. I go there often.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, got a close friend that lives there. So.
Oh, very good. Yep. I'm right. Anytime you're in town, let's get together. We'll have
All right.
breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or all three.
Yeah.
I want to jump right in because I know your time is valuable. I watch you do these lives, and we could talk forever about all the stuff that all your knowledge and the products that you've created in the past. But do you have an elevator speech for your expertise, your knowledge, and where it comes from, as far as your ability to create these great formulas?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I was led to be in this industry. Literally, this is where God wanted me, because I had no idea. I didn't even know what a pharmacognosist was. That's what I am. I wanted to be a corporate lawyer, of all things, in my high school years and then my early college years. So, but yeah, one thing led to another, which led to another, which led to another. And I ended up getting a PhD in pharmacognosy, specializing in ethnobotany and organic chemistry. So I got to travel around the world, mostly parts of Asia, some parts of Russia, like that area, the eastern parts of Russia, studying indigenous people, the foods that they ate, the plants that they used for food and medicine, and then bringing those back to the lab to figure out what active phytochemicals or phytonutrients are in those plants and how they can be used to benefit humans. So it led to formulating products, OTC products, skincare, hair care, and dietary supplements.
And so when you started to create formulas, was it more just because you had a need for a change of supplements because the ones you were taking weren't working? What was the impetus for you beginning this career?
Yeah, so originally it was, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia when I was 21 years old. By the time I was 23, it really sucked, because I was an athlete. I loved participating in all sorts of sports, and yet I was passing out all the time. And I'm also a Christian, so it was funny because my Christian friends just thought I was always full of the Holy Ghost or something, but passing out, I'd get because I'd fast on Sundays or something, and that's really bad when you're hypoglycemic to fast.
Right.
You know, I'd get lightheaded and dizzy, and they're like, "Oh, he's got the Holy Ghost." No, I was passing out from low blood sugar. But yeah, I got in one of my classes in school. This is before I even got my degree. We studied, you know, it was actually a nephrology class, but we got into sections, you know, instead of kidney sections, we got into pancreas and how the pancreas produces certain enzymes that help your body digest. And then you have salivary amylase, which is an enzyme that helps your body digest sugars. And yeah, so long story short, I learned about all these different enzymes. And I got in the lab and I kind of blended together some of these food digestive enzymes in this little cup. And I took a tablespoon of that little mixture I made before I ate. And within 2 or 3 days, I had no more hypoglycemic symptoms anymore. Wow. And I continued to take that product for like a year. And well, I continued to take that product for years, but a doctor saw me take it about a year ago. He was a friend of mine, and we were having lunch, and I took it before my lunch. He's like, "What's that?" And I told him, and he's like, "Dude, we could sell so much of this. Do you know how many people are hypoglycemic?" And one thing led to another, and I eventually created my own research and development company and started selling formulas that I was producing, even before my degree. So,
wow, I'm so glad you did. Like I was saying earlier, it's your products that you've created have actually have really changed my life, and I'm just so thankful. I have more stories to tell you, but I want to talk about this great company that we've been involved in. I've been involved since nearly the beginning, during the pre-launch, and I've just loved all the people in it. I love the transparency. I love that Rob comes on almost every night and says, "You know what? We were planning on doing this, but this thing broke. But we're fixing it, and but we're going to move forward." Or, you know, we had this great product that we thought we were going to, make, but it's even better than we thought it was going to be. So, I mean, almost every step of the way during the pre-launch, it's been amazing, which not most companies do. So I want to ask you, how was it? Have you known Rob for a long time? Rob Alwyn, the CEO of the company, right? He's the CEO.
Yeah, he's the founder and CEO. Yes.
Yeah. So did you guys know each other before? How is it that you guys decided to create this company, and what brought you two together?
Well, yeah, we first met, it's coming up on 5 years ago, with a former company he was a black diamond in, and I was also the chief science officer of that company on the corporate side. And you know, we sat next to each other. The former company, you know, would honor all their whatever executives and black diamonds and everything. And so at convention, we would sit at the very front row. Well, Rob and his wife and me and my wife were sitting in the front row, and he's just so real, you know. He was easy to chat to, and he's like, I call him just the good old country boy, because he's real, even though at the time he was making, I don't know, he's making like $20,000 a week or something with this company. He was doing great. And we became very close friends after that. And even when he stopped.
He'll come back. He froze for just 1 second. It's coming back. You'll see a little bit of a video surge, and then there he is.
Sorry about that. It looks like
That's okay.
lost you again. But yeah, so even when he stopped doing that other company, we would occasionally text each other and just stay in touch, you know, like Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, hope you're doing well, stuff like that. And then this LifeWise idea all started from Rob producing a Facebook Live called the 7. Andy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to take a drink, and I didn't want everybody to see me taking a drink.
Okay, I saw you cut out. It's like, where did you go? Oh no. So yeah, he did a Facebook Live the end of January of this year, and he entitled it "The 7 Deadly Sins of Network Marketing." And I happened to be on Facebook at that time and saw him go live, and so I watched the video and I made some comments and liked it, because everything he was saying I was totally resonating with. I was like, oh yeah, that is that. I don't like network marketing because of that. I was actually ready to launch my own company that was not going to be network marketing. I was just going to do an affiliate program and pay influencers from TikTok and, you know, Twitter and things like that to promote some products that I had formulated. Well, About 3 days after that,
Yep, there he goes again. He'll be back in 1 second.
yeah, about 3 days after that Facebook Live, he gave me a call and he said, "Hey, I noticed you were on my Facebook Live." And I said, "Yeah, I watched it. It was great." He's like, "So what do you think?" And I'm like, "What do you think about what?" And he was like, "We should start a company."
That's awesome.
He's like, he's like, you were a distributor at one time, and I was a new skin distributor and made a lot of money in my early years when I was 20, 21, 22 years old, doing new skin. And he's like, and I've been a black diamond in 3 different companies. And look, I ran a divisions for a $700 million company. I was vice president of Asia operations. I've ran my own company that was publicly traded for 18 years. Rob also has a great background on the corporate world. And this is one thing a lot of people don't know. They literally just thought, oh, it's just a chief science officer and a science nerd and some distributor getting together to form a company. We heard it all, man. We got
I heard it too.
emails from people. Nobody knows. If you don't know me, you don't know me. If you don't know Rob, you don't know Rob. Rob has currently a very successful business, by the way, out in Arkansas, where they go. I mean, I think he's working on like 20 some odd different home projects right now.
On top of running Life Wise,
like abandoned properties and all. Yeah, on top of Life Wise. Obviously he's got great managers running that company. It doesn't take a lot of time. I also have 2 successful businesses that I own right now. I own 2 manufacturing facilities, and have great managers and people running those. And I'm a partner in another one, so a co-owner of another one. So, we're both chronic entrepreneurs. So running a business comes second nature to both of us. So anyway, I took a couple days to think about it because, like I said, I was about that close to launching my own company. But I decided, I just kept getting the feeling, and again, this was another God thing. It just kept being put on my heart that I needed to join Rob. And every time I thought about launching my own business, it just didn't feel right. Whether you call it fear or anxiety or whatever, it just never felt good until I decided I was going to run with Rob. So Rob and I co-own LifeWise, and it has been only 4 months, I guess, since 4.5 months since we started the company. But it's here to stay. We're doing great. We're debt free. We own the building. We own the warehouse. I don't need a salary. Rob doesn't need a salary. I don't care if we had 10 customers. We would still be a company. We're not going anywhere. We don't need the money. We're doing this because we love people. We love the industry. I love networking. And Rob and I are both building teams and building a business. We're right in the trenches with you. So
I love that. All that I love. I'll actually maybe come back to that after. I want to get to the products, and then we'll come back to some other stuff here. But let me first say hi to Dave Everett. He's watching from LinkedIn, and he's actually my former neighbor and a great guy, great family guy. We got Lynn Platt watching from YouTube, Sandra Vaughn on Facebook saying howdy, and Jan French, who's on my team. She wanted to some information on one of the products. And so I want to bring this in really quick, is that when is it that you can talk to one of the co-owners of a company that has thousands of people in it? And Jan French had a question for me that I couldn't answer. I said, I don't know. Let's call Tracy, one of the co-owners of the company. And she spoke to you and she said, it was nice talking to you. And looking forward to getting my order of Dream, praying it helps me sleep. We'll talk about Dream in just 1 second. Another one of my team members is Iris de la Torre. They're also viewers of my show called The Living Fearless Devotional, which is a Christian show that my wife and I do. So I'm glad to have them on. So I want to bring in this one thing that's really important. Speaking of my devotional, speaking of my followers who often follow me because of a Christian show that I do, one of the first decisions, I think, it could have been the second decision, I don't know, but whatever decision it was that making Jesus Christ your chief operating officer. What was behind that decision, and isn't that possibly a little bit controversial to do that. And so I just want to hear a little bit more about it because I love it. And I think
Yeah.
that you have to be bold.
Do we
Yeah.
care? No, I don't care if it's controversial.
No.
I mean, so here's the thing. Rob and I promised transparency from day one. We promised honesty from day one. We both love Jesus, so why would we hide that? You know, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. You know, it's I don't wear it on my sleeve though. You know, I don't mention it every time I'm talking to somebody. I don't have to sit there and look. The scriptures say you will know them by their works, and or by their fruit, or it says both in different places, right? And so that's what we're trying to do. We try to be servant leaders. We love people. We love on people. We're producing great products. We're changing people's lives financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And there's our fruit. And so, no, we don't wear it on our sleeves, but we are. And I'm going to say we're a faith-based organization.
Yep, he'll be back. He's on his phone, so this happens every so often. And it's the devil.
But yeah,
it's actually the devil cutting in.
But I'm not going to say that you have to be a Christian to join Life Wise, because that's not what we're all about either. In fact, our lead program is just about becoming a better person. You know, it's about, hey, where are you at in your life as a father? Where are you at as a mother? How can you improve in that role? How can you be a better human being and contribute to society? It's not about, hey, can you love Jesus more? That's not what we talk about. I mean, if
he'll be back. We need restore for his phone, or clarify, or clarity. Sorry, did I say clarify? There you go.
Boy, I wonder what keeps going on. But either way, we think that faith is an important part of anybody's life, and we want to, you know, help people be their best selves. And if faith can do that, then great.
That's awesome. All right, let's get to the products. A lot of people want to know about these things, and I'll let you go into as much detail as you feel that you need to go into. But I'm going to start with Dream, since it got brought up, and that's Dream right there.
Oh, we have our new packaging. I got our new packaging.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, when you open it up, look at all the science there.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome packaging.
And there's your supplement facts panel, then the hero ingredients, and inside of each one of these will be 10 packets for a total of 30 packets, 30 strips. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's in Dream? What should people know about Dream?
So Dream, our hero ingredient in Dream is a patented, clinically proven extract from saffron. And the trademark is called Affron, Affron. It is sold by my good friends at GenCore Pacific, just a wonderful company, wonderful ingredient. Again, I believe 6 peer-reviewed clinical studies, all for promoting and supporting healthy sleep patterns. I added L-theanine to it, as well as a very small amount of melatonin, like very small, like 10% of what you would normally find at the pharmacy or something, because it's just a nice supporting ingredient. But what's cool about this, and you can see it on our new packaging, is we've got a nanotechnology that we use to create these oral strips. And we can make the molecules of these ingredients very small to where they can get into the bloodstream via the mouth without ever needing to swallow them. And there are studies that show that the mouth to brain delivery takes place within 3 to 5 minutes. So they're very fast acting, unlike, you know, a melatonin pill or something that you would have to swallow. So it's a unique delivery. It's a unique formula with an ingredient that has multiple clinical studies on it. And we're very excited about Dream. It's a one-of-a-kind product.
And that's what you just mentioned is one of the things that I love about it. My wife asked me about Dream, or we were having a discussion about it. And, you know, I travel to the East Coast a lot, and in other areas of the country where the time zone is an issue, and then I have to wake up early the next morning to testify in some criminal case because I testify as an expert witness. And when you're traveling like that, you have this tendency to stay awake, and you're trying to get to sleep, but you don't get to sleep until like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But now I take a dream when I arrive and get to my hotel at about 9 o'clock at night, and I am able to get to sleep right away, which is usually not possible. And then the other thing is, I was telling her, is that when I'm at home and I have this tendency to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was a police officer for a couple decades. And I was mostly working graveyards. My sleep patterns are all messed up. So I've had this tendency to wake up at 1 and not be able to get back to sleep. And she goes, well, why don't you just take melatonin? I said, because when I take the melatonin, it takes an hour or so, depending on how much I ate, before I went to bed. And then by the time I fall asleep, I have to wake up. I said, with the dream, if I wake up at 1, I'm back to sleep at 1:15. If that, and that's what makes it fantastic, because I just simply go right back to sleep. So it has been a game changer for me for all my travels, and then for that aspect of needing to go back to sleep right away.
Yeah, and because of the relaxing properties of the saffron extract, we even have people who have like severe ADHD or severe anxiety issues who take a little bit of it. They go ahead and just cut that strip in half and take a little bit during the daytime.
Oh, wow.
And I've been told it takes the edge off, is the words that they use. They're like, I'm able to relax. I'm able to think clear because I'm not full of anxiety and things like that. So you can use it for things other than just sleep.
Wow. I did not know that. Great information. So I think I might have misspelled this up for some reason on my graphic. I don't know how I've done this, but no, it's clarity. On my note over here, I said it's clarify. But clarity, Tracy will come back in 1 minute. Clarity is then when I'm on the East Coast and I've gotten my good amount of sleep, so that I can testify in those courtrooms with a clear head and give them good solid information. I take the clarity before I go into the courtroom. And man, I've never been sharper. As a matter of fact, I've won like 3 or 4 cases in a row. And I'm going to give Tracy the credit, because flying all day long and then being able to sleep and then being to be clear headed to testify in these complicated court cases. It's been fantastic.
All right. Well, that's a new testimony we can use. Clarity helps you win court cases.
It does.
All you lawyers out there, you need clarity.
So what's in clarity? Why does it work so great?
Well, clarity is a combination. And again, this is where, my schooling and my background comes in to play. Is there are amazing active phytochemicals that are found in our plants. Over 95% of your prescription drugs originated from a plant. Only about 3% are animal-based, and then about 2% are purely chemical. So you've got literally hundreds of thousands of species of plants out there that contain amazing active ingredients. For clarity, all I did was take a combination of some of these crazy cool active ingredients from plants like vinpocetine from the periwinkle plant. I added ceticholine, alpha GPC, huperzine A, which comes from a moss in China. I know it sounds gross or weird, but it is an extract. It's not like you're eating moss, okay? But these all have amazing benefits for improving blood flow to the brain, mental clarity, cognitive recall or memory recall, and cognitive function. Vinpocetine is actually a prescription drug in most parts of the world, Canada, the EU, Japan, for dementia. The 5 to 10 milligrams is a regular dose for dementia. But in the United States, we have this wonderful thing called the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. And if it's a plant-derived and naturally extracted, so like a water or alcohol extracted ingredient, we can sell it as a dietary supplement here without a prescription. So we have this really cool combination of ingredients in clarity that really do support healthy brain function. There's no really other way to explain it. And you won't know what I'm talking about until you try it, because it's cool the way you feel. You've experienced it, obviously, just the focus and the clarity. I do the same thing. Like before I did this presentation with you, I took a strip of clarity. I don't like to take it after 7 p.m. because then I have difficulty sleeping. Like my mind's thinking of all sorts of different things. Right. I have to take 1 or 2 dream to counteract the clarity. But if it's 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. and you hit that midday burnout, clarity is great.
I love it. I really do love it. I'm going to get a couple of these comments before we move on, if that's okay. So we have Tammy Poor, who's on my team. She's from Virginia, and she's praying this will help with her health issues. God also put this on my heart to join this company and try the products. Which is fantastic.
Thank you, Tammy. Almost everybody that's joined our company has said that. So many have said, I just felt like I needed to join.
Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah. As he's coming back, I'm gonna go to Lynn Platt, who says,
I had another couple say, look, we were confused. We wanted to join an ABC company, but we went to church, and at church, all we could do is think about your company. So we came home from church and immediately enrolled. We get that all the time.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn Platt says that Dream works great for her and she loves it.
Awesome.
I get that. My friend David wants to know how he can get a sample. Well, Dave, we're going to have lunch, and I have to give you some samples. I laugh because we've been talking about having lunch and we just don't do it. It's mostly my fault, but we'll make sure that happens, David, so I can get you some samples. Does it help with snoring? Does Dream help with snoring?
So I don't personally have my own experience, but a ton of our partners have been telling me that it does. So if there's anybody out there that's tried it and has that experience, please share it. But I've heard from 4 or 5 different people, and I don't know why, other than it does improve oxygen flow to the brain. Now, they say that people that snore, I guess, have low oxygen flow or bad breathing or a deviated septum or whatever the reasons are. So I don't know, maybe it helps in some cases, but might not help in all cases.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to address Carol's question here about the site. Well, if you're watching us on Facebook in particular, if you go down to the description of this particular show, I put the links in the description. So it's the second one. The first one is to my website that I created for the people that want to join me. It just gives them an easy access to the Facebook groups and that kind of stuff. You can skip that one for now, but go to the second one and click on that, and there's the website for you to look at. And Carol, if you have any problems, locating it, just private message me on Messenger and Facebook, and I will make sure and set you up. Iris wants to know how much caffeine is in Clarity.
That's a great question. Typically, I don't disclose my proprietary blends. That would be like Colonel Sanders disclosing his secret recipe of 12 herbs and spices or whatever that, or, try getting the secret formula for Coca-Cola out of their $1 million vault, But with caffeine, I am not a huge proponent of caffeine, and I don't like people taking over 300 milligrams a day. In fact, the NIH and the CDC say that that's not healthy for you. So I'll go ahead and disclose the caffeine. I only have 20 milligrams of caffeine. It's just enough in there to boost people who might be experiencing like adrenal burnout. A little bit of caffeine just kind of gets that cortisol level pumping again. But I'm not a huge fan of caffeine either. And I try not to take more than 100 milligrams or so a day myself.
That amount that's in there, what is there a comparative in a cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee?
It would be about a quarter can of Coke. It would be about a quarter cup of coffee. A cup of coffee is between 55 and 60 milligrams on average. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And then Fran Strauss is saying hello. We love
Fran.
We love Fran.
Yep. We were on the phone with her, or my wife was anyway, just, I don't know, a couple hours ago.
All right. Here's another one of my favorites. I have this knee, and I'm just going to tell you, Tracy, not everybody else. But I hurt my knee riding a grocery cart about 1.5 years ago.
Wait, how old are you?
That's what everybody says.
In high school, right?
Yes, but I got to tell you, it was a full of groceries, bags of groceries, and I saved the eggs as I was going down, right. and I caught them. Well, I hurt my knee.
They're like gold nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I hurt my knee, and it's been this terrible pain ever since. And I've gone to orthopedist, and I've done all kinds of stuff. But I'm telling you, it may be a coincidence, but once I started taking Restore, it really does seem to have helped me with the pain, the inflammation.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence. We've got studies to prove it. So, Restore. Yep. Now, Restore is a wonderful ingredient. And I have to admit and be honest here, because we're transparent, I didn't formulate Restore. Restore is an ingredient all by itself. It's a patent pending blend from a company that I love, a company that I wanted to work with for a long time. And finally, when I got the reins to my own company and my own, means of making formulas, I reached out to them and I'm like, I want your ingredient. And I'm wondering if I should disclose the name of the company. Not typically I do, but I haven't called them and asked for specific permission. But they, they're a raw ingredient supplier. So it's not like you can call them and buy this ingredient unless you're buying 25 or 30 kilos or something at a time, right? Let me think. Anyway, yeah, either way, they created this blend. And because they're patent pending, they've also done multiple clinical studies on it. So we actually have clinical studies on the finished product, which is this blend of boswellic acid, which comes from frankincense. And it's a special kind of boswellic acid combined with a couple of different types of curcuminoids from both the yellow and the green curcumin. So this amazing combination.
Oh, he'll be back to talk about Restore, and he will finish his sentence in 2, 3.
It has a double-blind placebo comparison study to 1,000 milligrams of acetaminophen. So 2 of these capsules in a study showed that it was not only comparable to 1,000 milligrams of acetaminophen, which, by the way, is a large dose of acetaminophen. It's like a double dose of extra strength Tylenol, right? But the study group actually said that they felt better on the Restore than the acetaminophen, and their mental well-being, in other words, knowing that what they were taking didn't have harmful effects on their liver or their kidneys like acetaminophen would, was a great study. But they have done other studies on this ingredient as well, and it basically works with inflammation markers to, boy, how do I say this legally? Because the FDA doesn't let us talk about pain or anything.
Right.
But, I don't know. I guess your personal experience said everything I need to say. I guess this is a product that works great for joints, for hips, for back, for shoulders, anything where you might have inflammation that's undesirable. This would be a product that you could give a try.
Yeah, it was a few days ago. I either misplaced the bottle or I can't remember what ended up happening. So there was a day or two that I went without it and my knee swelled up. And I go, oh, why is my knee swelling up? And then it dawned on me, you know what? You haven't taken Restore. I took it and the swelling went down. Yep. Again, I'm so afraid of making claims and saying stuff. I'm just telling you that this is my experience. I have the guy here, so I'm just sharing my experience with Restore. The swelling was significant. I took the Restore, and the next day the swelling was gone. So that's all I can tell you. Let me look at comments really quick and see. We have Annette Johnson who says Restore is amazing. I've had a business partner mention her cholesterol numbers have lowered since being on Restore. Wow. Is this a side benefit or a coincidence?
No, this is actually quite common with curcumin. Curcumin is being sold by so many companies out there. And again, I have failed to mention during this interview that all of our products use technology that increases the absorption or assimilation of the molecule. Excuse me. I did mention in the dream that we use a nanotechnology. We do the same thing for clarity. Restore, on the other hand, because they are lipid soluble molecules, we use a liposome technology, and it's a more advanced liposome technology than what most people see or hear of in other dietary supplements. This is called a SMID technology, or self micro emulsifying delivery system, or drug delivery system. But either way, it gets into the body quickly and it finds those targeted areas that it needs to go to and goes to it. One of the great benefits of curcumin is not only its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, But there's also been studies that show that it regulates and helps support healthy cholesterol levels as well as blood pressure. I've noticed the blood pressure responses, not just in me, but several people around me who can regulate their blood pressure levels just by taking 2 to 4 Restore daily.
My Restore. My blood pressure is. I've had blood pressure since I've been in my early 20s. I almost didn't get on the police force because of my high blood pressure. So it's always been an issue. It's never been lower, and I may have to get off my medication because I'm getting a little lightheaded.
Yeah. So I experienced the same thing. Now, I don't take medication for it, but I noticed if I take 2 Restore before I play basketball, I was getting a little lightheaded. And here I was running, exercising, but when I checked my blood pressure, it was a little bit too low. So I only take Restore now after I do vigorous workouts, not before.
Very good. I want to bring up something Sandra Vaughn brought up a very good point about Carol Ling. Did someone tell you about Life Wise is what she's saying? Don't go to my link if somebody else sent you here to watch this video. If somebody sent you here that's in Life Wise, then you want to use their link. So I should have been a little bit more careful about what I was saying. If you found me just from the show popping up on your system and your social media, then for sure, then use my URL. But if somebody else sent you here, don't use mine.
We're a direct sales company, which is similar to like affiliate marketing. Please go to the person that referred you to LifeWise or that you first heard LifeWise from.
Absolutely. Thank you. Fran says, my husband's taking Restore for high blood pressure. Oh, okay. Very good. And can't claim healing, only what it does for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the information, says Annette. And Carol says she'll be sending me a private message. But again, make sure that it's because you found me, not because somebody else sent you here. Sandra says, I love it. All right. The next ones I'm excited about. I don't have them yet, but I can't wait. Well, first of all, I want to address something that's important because people are going to be signing up. They're going to be ordering product, but there's a little bit of delay. July 4th was an amazing day. That's when the company went live, went full into production or whatever you want to call it. Launched. There we go. There's the word I was looking for. And you guys had a bigger success than you thought you were going to have, which is fine because you don't want to over order. But you had far more people join than you had than you had thought. What's the result of that?
Essentially almost doubled the size of our company in a period of about 3 days.
That is awesome.
It was, but it's not awesome for those new people who went to place orders and found out that we were in a back order situation. And product wasn't shipping. I can tell you that all of the product is scheduled to arrive in our fulfillment center on Friday, and over the weekend and into Monday, products will be shipping out. So just a few more days, just be a little 3 or 4 more days.
Cool. Awesome. All right, here's the next one, which I'm looking forward to, the one. And I just know that it's full of awesomeness. What is the one, and why should everybody have that in their house?
Well, the one is a complete nutritional supplement. And when I say that, it's food. It's I can read like.
Oh, he'll be back. He will be back. This has never failed us yet.
Yeah, so I can read the list of ingredients. I mean, it's basically a red algae, sesbania, guava fruit, Indian gooseberry, holy basil, rose hips, Bix aureliana, nutritional yeast culture, lemon peel extract, pomegranate, acai, acerola cherries. It goes on and on. There's like 35 different foods in here, right? Fermented, concentrated down. And those all contain all your vitamins, all your minerals, over 100% supply. I mean, I'll just read it down. It's got over 100% of vitamin A, 110% of vitamin C, 100% of vitamin D. It's got 100% of vitamin E. It's got 158% of vitamin B1, 154% of B2.
Oh, we lost him again. This is the trouble with doing these lives on phones, because these things happen, and then he comes back and he will finish the list of stuff that's on there. There it is. Sorry, you cut out for, now we don't have any audio. Tracy, you're going to have to reset. You may have to come back. He can't even hear me. You're going to have to go in and come back out. There's no audio. I'll remove him, and maybe he can come back. So he'll have to come out of the show. So the one is one of the exciting new products that we have been waiting for. We've been told about it for several weeks now. As he's disconnecting, I see that he's resetting his phone right now, but he'll be back. Let's see. Are you back? Nope. Can't hear you. You can completely log out and then come back, and it should fix it. You can completely go back out and then re-hit the link. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'll take him out just so you don't see him making faces. Let's go to some of these comments. We have Jenny Ula. She's very excited about the one. So am I. Gerardo Gonzalez. Yep, we all are. Trisha Parker says hi to me and Tracy, which is fantastic. Thank you. The Formulator. Sandra's letting Tracy know that I should have used that earlier. And Rob, the great CEO of the company, is telling Tracy to reboot. So maybe that's what he's doing right now. But he'll be back in 1 second. So just the aspect of the products being on back order, I think that that is an amazing thing that can happen. I think that, and Rob could correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, and that is that there's this being in the business world, and when you're selling product, is that obviously you don't want to order too much because it then sits on the shelves and nobody buys it. And then if there's a expiration date on it, then the expiration date gets used up, and now you have to end up throwing away product. That's what you don't want to have to happen, but you want to make sure and order enough so you guess. And sometimes we are not even close to understanding the popularity of a company or how great it is until something like this happens. And that is that you don't have enough when you double your company in one swell swoop. And that's what ended up happening. So this is great. So Tracy, can we hear you?
Yeah, I'm back on now.
Yep.
I can hear you again.
Just finishing on the one, you were talking about all the great ingredients.
Yeah. So 9 strains of probiotics. It has all the omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 from a vegan source, by the way, sea buckthorn oil. And if you don't know what that is or never heard of it, let your fingers do the walking and do some internet searches on sea buckthorn oil, and you'll see all the wonderful properties of that. 32 different superfoods. Trace minerals, over 72 trace minerals. I mean, it's basically the only nutritional supplement you will ever need. I know people spending $300 to $500 a month, and when they read to me their supplement list, somebody just emailed me this, all the supplements they're taking. Wow. And literally when I added all this up, they're spending about $550 a month, and everything that was in here is in the one. And some of these things they're duplicating. And I was like, okay, guess what? For $78, I just saved you $422 some odd dollars a month.
That is really an important point that you have to point out to people, is that what are you doing now to supposedly maintain your health, or what you're hoping to do with your health? And you are, how much money are you spending, and how much of it is being wasted on contents that your body can't even absorb.
Yeah.
And you are basically peeing or pooping out because your body's not processing it.
Yeah.
And wasting money. Your products, knowing you the way that I do, you and I aren't best friends and hang out together, but I've been around your products and been around your teachings on stage, that you use products that our body can, and in a delivery system where our body can actually absorb the contents, which is huge.
Yeah. Because the one is whole food. All I needed to do is add the right probiotics and the right enzymes to it, and you get proper digestion of all of these foods so that the foods are utilized by your body. Instead of you taking a multivitamin and going to the bathroom and having like neon colored urine, where it's all just leaving your body and being flushed down the toilet. So, and look, even if you feel great taking the 10 different supplements you're taking right now, that's costing you $500. What do you have to lose to try taking just the one and seeing how you feel on it. And if you feel the same, stop taking 20 different pills from 10 different supplements and save some money, you know?
Absolutely. I don't know if you saw this, but Rob is on, and he says right here, it says, "Is your one and only body nourished?"
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
He always has some great little sayings that he throws out there. So then there's this next one, which is called Shield.
Shield. Yep. Oh, you've got the new packaging there already.
Yeah, I'm covering your
cool
face,
science
though.
in the new packaging. So
Awesome. So the Shield, we could use this, I think, back in whenever the pandemic hit, I think. But
yeah. Well, we didn't have Life Wise then, and I didn't even know about this molecule that we've got in Shield back then. But you should see the studies. I did post them. If you go to Tracy Gibbs Formulator Facebook page, back about 3 weeks ago, I posted a photo that I took from NIH.gov of all of the different published studies on GMI. There's about 45 peer-reviewed published clinical studies on GMI, which is the main hero ingredient in Shield. And there's another 150 ongoing clinical studies right now being conducted on GMI. One of those just finished, and I posted that on my Facebook page just a couple of days ago. So as these 150 some odd studies finish and are published, then I will also post those too. But several of these studies, well, I can't mention it, but yeah, we could have used GMI the last 3 years. Yeah.
And one thing you were saying about GMI, and I'm not sure how much you can share, because I'm not sure if you did it publicly or one of our private Zooms, but it's a fairly expensive ingredient. Is it?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah. About $200,000 a kilogram. In my 28 years of procuring and sourcing dietary supplement ingredients, it's by far the most expensive ingredient I've ever seen. By far, 5 times more expensive than anything I've ever seen.
Wow. But that doesn't mean that it's going to cost us, $200 for one pill, is it?
No. And so the cool thing is, when I first heard that price, I literally walked out of the room. I thought they were messing with me, like total scam, But as I reviewed the clinical studies were all on 100, 200, and 300 microgram doses. That's less than a milligram for people that don't know that milligrams and micrograms and grams and kilograms and things like that. And so when you start doing the math, in 1 kilogram, there are 1 million milligrams, okay? Which means there's 100 million micrograms. So times that by 100 to get 100 micrograms. And I started doing the math, and I'm like, hey, I can make this work. I can still use the dose that was in all of these clinical studies and still have an efficacious product that we can provide to you at about $49 and still be healthy as a company. Our margins aren't great on it, but again, that's what's really cool about our revenue sharing program. Nobody else can provide this molecule, this ingredient to you at the price you're getting it. It should be a $90 to $120 product, and you get it for $45.
And that's
$49, excuse me.
That's okay. And that's a 28-day.
That's a 30-day supply.
A 30-day supply.
Yeah, so you have 2 to give away as samples. Get on Wise Ship. It'll come every 28 days, and you can share 2 samples with your neighbors.
That's awesome. I love that. And I just want to, I don't know if you knew this, Tracy, but I was in the dog, or have been in the dog business for 40 years. That's what I testify in court cases involving police dogs and that kind of stuff, but also involved in pet nutrition. And I just want to reemphasize the importance of the products that you create, the delivery system that you use, is important, because in the dog food industry about 20 years ago, it began to change. But because prior to that, they were putting so much garbage in dog food that only a very small amount of it was actually being used by the dog. The rest of it ended up in your backyard on the lawn in a big old gigantic pile.
Yeah.
And you were spending, I don't know, $30 for a bag of dog food, but the dog was barely getting anything out of it. But then some very thoughtful people thought, you know what, let's really actually, this is what's killing our dogs. Our dogs are dying of cancer. The dogs are dying of malnutrition. Their skin, it has hot spots and all kinds of other problems in it. And it's because of those extra ingredients, or the fact that they weren't getting the nutrients that they needed to maintain a good coat and good health. And they began to understand that it was important to put good ingredients. Now, in the case of dog food, the price went up, but they were able to go from 60-pound bags of dog food to 30 pounds of dog food, and the dogs were absorbing more of the food, and the poop was actually getting less. And that's where you begin to see the value, that the price points for some of these things, people may think, well, that's kind of expensive, but not if you're absorbing it and you're actually using it. Now, compared to the last company that I was with, the prices were not that great. And then I wasn't making any money because the margins were small, or I had to earn 1,000 points before I actually got to make any money. Which brings me to this important point, is that I think the value in the products that you created is amazing. And yet we as partners and founders actually are able to actually earn an income. A good, decent income without having to have legs or points or buying thousands of dollars of products before we begin to do anything. My question is, in leading into that, is that how is it possible? How is it possible that you're able to create the great products that you have, sell them for the price that you are, considering I know what you create is just amazing and valuable, and yet we are still able to be able to make an income from this? Yeah,
company. Well, and this is where the transparency and the honesty and the simplicity of our system comes from. We have a specific dollar amount that we pay out to you guys as partners, people out there promoting our products, that is set. And it's based dollar to dollar. It's not points. It's not, some complicated compensation plan that nobody can understand. It's simple and it's easy, and you can add up that total dollar amount. So if you get $5, right, from everyone who buys a product using your website, right? $5, whether they're a customer or whether they enroll as a partner and want to sell the products too, you get $5 off of that front line. Now we have other special bonuses that actually double that. You can get, $10 if it's a first order bonus, right? Or other things, but our base plan for everyone is $5 on that first level from everyone buying from you. You get $3 from everyone who buys from them on your second level, and then $2 if it's a third level person, and then $1 on each level all the way down to 7 levels. So when you total all that up, it's roughly $17. That's it. It's simple. So we have our cost of manufacturing. And because it's a revenue share program, we share $17 of that $49 to you guys. And then as a company, we take an equal share, about $17. Plus or minus, depending on the product. With Shield, we don't get that much because Shield's really expensive. With Restore, we don't get that much because it's pretty expensive. But with Clarity and Dream, they're still expensive products, but we share equally with you guys basically in the revenue as far as the company goes, right? The corporate goes. So that's how transparent we are. Take what the company shares with you, and there's your cost of manufacturing, which if you knew anything about the network marketing industry, you would calculate that number and you'd be like, holy cow, we are getting a bargain. I mean, I can guarantee you, with all honesty and all transparency, there is no network marketing company out there that could offer you either Shield or the one.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to wait for him to come back. I was making a very important point. I'll see if I can't get him to start where he left off as he comes back.
Yeah, they're just too expensive. This would be a $280 to $320 product in any other direct sales company. Only LifeWise can sell it for $78.
Wow. And I think there's sometimes one of those legacy products, or a product where even the company may even take a little bit of a hit on, so that you can sell a good quality product like the one possibly, and not make as much as you might on some of the other things that you have to offer.
Right. And that's what we're counting on, because of the simplicity of our plan, we've created a plan for the masses, and we want the masses to join, and they will join. Whether it takes a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, we don't care. Rob and I aren't going out of business. Again, I don't care if there's 10 customers or 10 million customers. We're not going to lose money either way because we have zero to no overhead. Our building's paid for. Rob owns a building, owns a warehouse. As we expand, there's plenty of acreage around the property that's also owned that we can expand into. So we don't need the money to continue operating the company. We're just providing awesome products for the masses, and so they will come.
As we found out on July 4th.
Yeah, like on July 4th, unexpectedly. Rob and I hoped, and we were praying, that people would flock to us.
Be careful what you pray for.
I know, but you still have your doubts, right? Oh, ye of little faith and everything, right? And
Rob makes some good points here too. He says there's no corporate salaries, which is awesome.
Right.
Yep. Also, the corporate headquarters is paid for.
Mm-hmm.
No investors to be paid.
Yep.
No loans to pay back because we're a debt-free company.
Yep.
And then don't forget that $1 goes to Tunnel to Towers. That's been included in every product that's sold. $1 goes to Tunnel to Towers. You guys have already sent a few $1,000 check. Just in pre-launch prior to even July 4th.
Yeah. I mean, a lot more. We send a check every month. We total up the number of units sold every month and send a check. So I think we've sent 3 checks so far now to Tunnels to Towers.
That's how I love it. Free shipping to America.
Yep. Free shipping within the United States.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And again, no debt. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Trisha Parker says that she's grateful for Life Wise. So am I. I'm right with it there, Trisha. I know I missed one earlier up here. I just want to make sure and get to. Corinne says your products are absorbed the best by people like her, which is a bariatric, they've had bariatric surgery. Is that true?
Yes. Oh yeah. Because I mean, again, 3 of our products you don't even have to swallow. They're absorbed from your mouth right to your brain. And the one contains tons of enzymes and probiotics to help break down the nutrients quickly. Whether you've had, for example, a stomach bypass, a bariatric, whether you have celiac or Crohn's or some other digestive disorder, you don't need to worry about that with our products.
And then one thing I want to talk about, it's another product, but it's not one you created, and you've probably had some input on it, but and that is the one that's called the LEAD program. And that is a product where Dr. Clem is the lead instructor for teaching about leadership in our company, about everything you need to know to be successful in this company.
Successful in life, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. As a husband, as a wife, as a parent, as anything that you need for just being amazing.
Yeah, our name says it all. We want people to live life wise. We want you to not just acquire knowledge, but wisdom is the application of that knowledge, right? And the application of all the knowledge you've gained through all of your experiences. And so the LEAD program is a digital product that teaches people how to be better people. It's something the world needs more of right now. I would love everyone to be on the LEAD product. And so we made it at a price where like anybody can afford it. $35, you guys, to learn how to be a better person.
That's awesome. Sandra has a question about, will there have anything for detox? Any products?
Well, I mean, we do have the probiotics and enzymes and the fulvic acid in the one. There might be a need in the future. I might see the need for a special detox product all by itself. But look, if you're taking Shield and you're taking the one, and then you watch our Facebook Lives, you're participating in the LEAD program, which, by the way, has physical health aspects to it as well. Hopefully you won't need to detox on a regular basis, and you're changing your lifestyle and the things you're putting on your body and in your skin and stuff to, alleviate toxins from your life. But we do live in a toxic world. I do like detoxification products. There might be room for one in the future, but we don't have one right now other than the fulvic acid, which is a heavy metal detoxifier, which is in the one.
Awesome. Jenny says lead is a no-brainer. You get to learn to be a better person, and you get an 8th level of pay, which is another game changer.
Yeah, to incentivize everyone getting on the lead, we initiated a special program to where if you enroll with LifeWise, and when you enroll, if you join on WiseShip, which is like our auto ship program for the lead, we unlock the 8th level. And unless you've been in network marketing before, you might not understand what that means, but it opens up the door for you to literally gain over $1 million of income per year just from that 8th level. And that can be something you go in more detail as you're explaining the compensation plan at a later time or something like that. So
yeah, when I see Rob or talk about it, when you actually look at it, if you just have 4 people, then you teach those 4 people how to get 4 people, and it goes down to 8 levels. It's shocking the amount of money that you can make monthly. It's and you'll be able to do so much to help the world with that money, which you should do. You should
because then you'll be a better person, and the money won't corrupt you.
Yes. Sorry, these questions are coming in now that we've reached this hour, and I told my wife how long. I'm going to be about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
we're already approaching
it. To my wife.
Sorry about that.
We better wrap it up.
Yeah. So just really quick, we'll get these in. Does the one help someone that's struggling with IBS and SIBO?
So we can't make any disease claims, but again, think of what IBS is. Think about any digestive disorder. And that's exactly what enzymes and probiotics were made for, right? To help improve or regulate proper digestive function. So IBS is an improper digestive function. So yeah, if it were me, I would definitely start taking the one and see how it works for you.
Okay. I'm going to go through these really fast. So Tricia asked that wants something in the future with V3. Tammy says that she has an ongoing chronic pancreatitis and have been on bed rest for a year. I'm hoping these products will help her.
I would definitely look at Shield and the one. Regarding the V3, I love that product, still do. Yes, Rob and I have talked about it already, only it'll be much improved, of course. I mean, that's a 6-7-year-old formula now, and I can do better. Okay.
And then V12 Rob Alwyn wants.
Yeah, Rob's saying V12. Yeah. Rob loves his caffeines.
Iris, yes, this interview will be available. It'll be replaying. I will actually put it in my website that you have access to, Iris, which is the one I created for members of my group. And I just want to make sure you guys understand that there is a link.
Since Rob is watching, Rob, we're not going to call it V12. We're going to call it Wise Water.
I love that. But I have this website that I created for my group. It just helps people get started at getting in the right Facebook groups, and has Rob's training, and it has you talking about the products and that kind of stuff. That link is in there, but anybody can join the newsletter. And I hope that I can speak truth in this, and that LifeWise is not interested in people creating, these groups that are that nobody has access to, or these individual dynasties where nobody else can, touch. I remember going to a conference once in our old company, and I sat in the wrong place at one of our big conferences, and they said, this is really for, whatever group they had their name, and then I had to move. And I thought, well, that's weird. I thought we were all in the same company. Why do I have to move? And so I just want people to know that I have this website that you can join my newsletter if you want. It's just to keep people that are in my group up to date with what's going on. And so you can join that. Is that a true statement that really LifeWise is not interested in these 10 different dynasties or 30 different dynasties within LifeWise?
Oh, yes, 100% for sure. We are all in the same line. I'm not going to say Rob reaches out to my people because they're his people too. And I reach out to his people because they're my people too. Right. We're all in this together. I mean, I take phone calls from everybody, and people are going to say, well, yeah, that's because you're a corporate officer too. But that's just not the only reason. Everybody helps everybody in this company. You've even seen it, Andy, in your chat group right now. You've had people from different groups joining your call and in your chat group. And we are all one family here. As Rob calls it, we are all hope brokers. We deal and broker in hope.
That's awesome. So one more thing before we leave, I got scripture on that website. This is the website that I was just talking about. That anybody that joins me, you'll get access to this website. And then at the bottom here, you can if you want to join my newsletter, regardless, you can do that. But I just want to read the scripture that I found. God brought this to me for some reason to put on the very last page. I just asked for scripture and I opened the book and this one came to me. It's Hebrews 10, 24 through 25 that says, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting each other together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. And I just thought that was so great that I had to include that onto my website, is that we are to do this together, just like church is, and our faith is supposed to be done together. It's not to be done individually, and that we are to help each other out, lend a helping hand when somebody needs a helping hand. So I hope that will encourage people to do that this is one family, not 15 families within the overhead of Life Wise. We want to make sure and do this all together. I love you guys, and I hope God blesses you and your family, Tracy Gibbs. I just wanted to make sure and tell you again that your products in the old company and this company have changed my life. And as a police officer, I suffer from PTSD and had some very difficult times dealing with that depression and anxiety, where I took myself to the hospital a few times because I thought I was dying. And they said, no, you are having an anxiety attack. Since meeting you and having your products, I have not had an anxiety attack. I've not had a feeling of depression. It's been life-changing knowing you from a little bit of a distance, but being a part of your team and having these products in my life has truly changed my life.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks for sharing that. That's amazing.
So I appreciate that. Thank you all for watching. The replay will be available. It just stays on the internets, and I'll make sure it makes it onto my website so that you guys can have access to it. All right, Tracy, thanks for staying so long. I'm sorry. Yeah. We just couldn't stop talking.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Andy, for
all right, I'll talk to you later. Take care. See you guys. God bless.